study was prompted by limited but somewhat contradictory findings about the influence of bilingualism on creativity, ability, and development. Also, several decades ago, there was near consensus regarding the negative influence of bilingualism on children's mental and cognitive development. Now there is near consensus regarding the positive impact of bilingualism on children's and adults' cognitive, linguistic, and academic growth. The growing evidence showing the contribution of bilingualism and maybe balanced bilingualism to verbal and non-verbal creativity. Raises question about the cognitive mechanisms that bring about this effect. Evidently, such question may be answered through deeper understanding of the relationship between two complex cognitive phenomena, bilingualism and creativity. In this context, it is suggested, for example, that among balanced bilinguals, the mental juggling of two languages provides an advantage in the development of several cognitive mechanisms underlying the creative ability. Considering these mechanisms, it may be assumed that first of all, the creative process demands cognitive flexibility that has been found to be much stronger among bilinguals, mainly balanced bilinguals, who constantly switch between their languages. Arguing further on the possible mechanisms involved in creativity, we should note that during divergent thinking there may be a strong influence of broken memory. The problem being solved must initially be held in broken memory and then be connected to different semantic networks. Another executive function that was found to benefit from bilingualism is inhibition. Inhibition appears to play an especially important role in convergent thinking because convergent thinking requires the person to inhibit the unsuitable solutions and focus on the most practical and original solutions. This proves regarding the cognitive mechanism related to bilingualism and creativity serves as a starting point for our study. We propose to examine performance on two cardinally different types of creativity tasks, demanding mostly divergent or convergent thinking, and performance on actual, in light of literature data, cognitive tasks among balanced and non-balanced adult bilinguals. In this case, we proposed that the contribution of such cognitive abilities as working memory, inhibition, or cognitive flexibility to the solving of creative problems will vary in different groups and for different types of creativity tasks. A total of 40 male university students with a mean age of 27 participated in this study. They were divided to two subgroups. The first Russian group consisted of 20 trilingual subjects whose mother tongue is Russian. They immigrated from Russia to Israel not later than 15 years ago and thus were able to acquire Hebrew at a high level. Their third language was English. And second, the Hebrew group consisted of 20 bilingual students whose mother tongue is Hebrew. Their second language is also English. Students from both Russian and Hebrew groups learned English in school as a foreign language and use it intensively due to the demands of academic studies in Israel. In this case, both groups were characterized by formal but not necessarily a high level of knowledge in English. Accordingly, we assumed that in the study there were two groups of participants, a balanced Russian group, a balanced bilingual Russian group, and non-balanced Hebrew group. Creativity was tested by using the remote association test of MEDNIC and the figural form A of Torrance test of creativity 15. The remote association test of MEDNIC measures verbal creative thought without requiring specific knowledge in any particular field. The tests consist of 30 items. Each item consists of 3 words that can be associated with a solution word in a number of ways. For example, the 3 words same, tennis, hat are associated with the solution match by means of synonymy and semantic association. There are 2 additional examples here. The score is the number of correct solutions. Originally, this test was created in English, but now there are 2 versions in Hebrew and in Russian, so that students from Russian group used Hebrew, Russian, and English versions of this test, and students from Hebrew groups used 2 versions, Hebrew and English versions of the main test. The second test, figural form A, thinking creatively with pictures, of the Torrance test. This test consists of 3 following 10 minutes tasks: picture construction, picture completion, and repeated figures. I will present these sub-tests along with examples of students' performance on this test, so that picture construction with bear koala, or picture construction with albino penguin on a business trip, picture completion, and repeated figures, parallel lines. According to Torrance, 2 dimensions of divergent thinking, originality and elaboration, are measured by the first task, and 4 dimensions by the 2 other tasks: fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. In this case, the fluency measure refers to the number of different ideas one can produce. Flexibility refers to the variety of ideas one produces. Originality refers to how unusual the ideas one produces are, and elaboration refers to richness of details in the ideas one produces. 4 different tests were used to examine the cognitive functions, which have been found to play an important role in creativity ability. I think that these are well-known tasks, and I will not describe them in details. First is Wisconsin card sorting test, which was used for examination of cognitive flexibility. Second is Flanker task, that is a test which examines inhibition and retention. The digit span test was used to testing of verbal-based working memory, and the Corsi block test was used for testing spatial working memory. Knowledge results. Not surprisingly, we found no significant differences between the 2 experimental groups in performance on cognitive tasks. Even if bilingualism really does somehow influence the development of cognitive functions, it may be too optimistic to expect any positive result in such group of adults, keeping in mind their age, educational level, and bilingual experience, as well as by means standard cognitive tests. The results show that both participants' groups performed on the Torrance creativity test and on the Hebrew version of Mednik test, also without prominent differences. There were only fewer marginal differences in fluency and flexibility measures in Torrance test, or the Torrance test, that seem to indicate the existence of some tendency, the study of which demands a considerably large size of the sample. The results apparently denote that on the one hand, in our study, there were no contrasted groups of participants, namely bilinguals versus monolinguals, but rather we compared between balanced and unbalanced adult bilinguals. In this Mednik tests seem to demonstrate a lack of sensitivity for prominent distinction between such experimental groups as in our study. On the other hand, a lack of differences between the two groups in performance in Hebrew version of Mednik's test indicates that although the Russian group consists of immigrants, the Hebrew knowledge they have is not less than that of their native speaker peers. It should be noted that the results obtained on Mednik test are extremely interesting. First, in the Russian group, the identical level of performance on Hebrew and Russian versions of the test was shown. That is, for Russian speakers, both languages operated as native ones. Secondly, while both Hebrew and Russian groups performed significantly better on Mednik test in Hebrew than in English, in the Russian group, the results on the English version were better than those achieved in the Hebrew group. Perhaps, considerably, the Russian group had a greater number of good English learners, but we can perhaps also assume that it is an indication of the positive influence of bilingualism on third language learning. The positive influence of such positive influence was shown in many studies, including our previous studies. Thirdly, in both groups, we found a negative correlation between the results of Mednik test and the regionality measures on Torrance creativity test. It may be suggested that these notable distinctions may be caused by differences between convergent and divergent thinking. Convergent thinking is needed for conducting Mednik's test, while divergent thinking is mostly required by good performance on Torrance creativity test. Note also that the remote association test related to language creativity, while the Torrance test examines figurative creativity. In this context, it may be suggested that different types of creativity are related to different and separate cognitive processes. Also, no direct evidence of linkage between creativity, ability, and balanced bilingualism were obtained, apart from several marginal distinctions in performance on creativity tests. The finding demonstrated that there are significant differences in the structure of the cognitive processes underlying different creative activities among balanced and unbalanced bilinguals. A series of regression tests were carried out to reveal the cognitive predictors of performance on creativity tests separately for each of the two experimental groups. In this paper, I am limited to only a few examples to show distinctions between both groups of participants and the various dimensions of creativity. The results of the analysis show that, for example, that in their performance on the Hebrew version of Mednik's test, in the Hebrew group there was a significant contribution of only cognitive flexibility, with 18% of variance, meaning R-square changes. Whereas in the Russian group, two strong predictors were found: non-verbal working memory with 42% of variance and inhibition with 34% of variance. Here is one more example for English version of Mednik's test, and we can see that in Hebrew group there was only one predictor, cognitive flexibility, while in Russian group there were three predictors, including non-verbal and verbal working memory. One more example for flexibility in Torrance test and conclusion. Thus, the number of strengths of predictors vary depending on the group as well as on the creative task or specific measure of creativity. These results seem to suggest that the cognitive mechanisms underlying creative processes may be different in balanced versus unbalanced bilinguals as well as in the different fields of creativity. Thank you very much for your attention.
questions?
Oh, you're right. I showed that in this presentation we have also test for language proficiency in three languages. In Russian language, Hebrew for Russians, and Hebrew and English for Hebrew. So there were really two different groups from the viewpoint of balance and non-balance. Hebrew, English is not a strong language for our students, but Russian and Hebrew for Russian group were two equivalent languages for level language. Yes, you are.
And you're all university students. So it kind of begs the question whether maybe all this exciting results is sometimes just so ongoing.
Yes, you are right. This was
I don't know that I'm right, I'm asking.
first try. This study is first try to pass from very young children. I got with very young children to students of university students. There were small groups, but I plan now to do something more bombastic. But let's take time and money.
I think I hope we get.
Yes, some socioeconomic groups were also balanced. Something like balanced.
But we have a limit. What I'm trying to say is that it could be that you have very limited section of the population of possible bilinguals. And you're looking at kids who went to university, who were good enough to study Hebrew, who were accepted to university. There is a whole self-selection. Right? So,
Yes, you're right. As I said, this was first try to pass in this population to start. Thank you.
Thank you.